Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, today's a day of new beginnings as we start the promised DC cinematic universe. Brought to us by Peter Safran and James Gunn. They are heading the creatives of all of the projects that are being spun into this incredibly ambitious endeavor. I can't wait to see where they go because they have promised shared characters. They have promised shared storylines. They have promised hints and sprinkled and peppered through each and every project certain things that will hint towards Superman or Batman or anything. So friends, today when we watch Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 1, The Collywobbles, we will appreciate it for what it is, a standalone episode of a brand new show. But also, maybe we'll pick up a couple things that'll hint towards the future, towards a Supergirl or a Brave and the Bold. Who knows, my friends? I can't wait to get started. Before we do, though, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you the next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to start in a brand new universe as we watch Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 1, The Collywobbles. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And for the first time in this universe, away we go! Should have went with that outfit for Superman. Just take it all the way back. Like the strongman outfit. Is this Amanda Waller? Belle Reeve.
The battalion calling themselves the Sons of Themyscira.
Sons?
The Sons are said to be working at the behest of the rogue Amazonian and reputed sorceress Circe.
Oh, I know her.
Inside sources claim Circe has promised the Sons that once the downfall...
How is she working with these guys?
Word is they have the most incredible waterfalls. I have this question for all the woke.
Critical skeptic facts over feelings? Is that what it is?
What a bunch of clowns.
Dangerous clowns. Pakistan is a friend of the U.S.
Countries don't have friends.
Right.
True friendship is built on petroleum deposits, especially unmined ones in a backward-ass country that's never taken advantage of their natural resources.
Viola Davis is awesome as Amanda Waller.
And if she's overthrown by some nut job in a witch's hat, all bets are off. We need to help Rosvik.
Is Circe really, like, is that a witch's hat? I think something more conical, but...
Task Force X activity since your daughter outed you.
Technically, Congress said Argus can't use an...
the events of Peacemaker Season 1 are actually canonical then.
This is the Belle Reeve Non-Human Interment Division. For over 50 years, only those at the uppermost levels of security clearance are aware
Oh, God. Weasel is so disgusting.
Congress said we can't use human prisoners. These assholes aren't human.
Weren't they once human, though?
Who is she?
We don't know. We call her the Bride.
Who's Jason and the Argonauts?
A sociopath who called himself Dr. Phosphorus.
Well, how does that radiation affect the people around them?
If you don't sleep in the same room with him, the effects should be minimal.
Minimal?
Minimal?
What is that thing?
The Weasel. It's one of the few soldiers still alive from Project Starfish in Corto Maltese, so we know it has what it takes to survive.
It played dead for the entirety of the mission.
I mean to intimate anything about your son, Flag. When he died in Corto Maltese, he died a hero. It's known as G.I. Robot.
Nice.
Last one is Nina Mazursky.
Nina Mazursky?
She's the smartest and most reasonable of the bunch.
Is she the leader? Okay. Well, it got everybody, even the ones that weren't attacking.
Let's call it Task Force M. M for monster.
We got it, Amanda. Nice. Alan Tudyk. Go get him, Wash. It's David Harbour, right? Yep. Frank Grillo. I knew that one. He's in they've all played their live action counterparts, presumably. Ah, cool. James Gunn. Oh, he wrote this episode too. I think I knew that.
There's an osprey waiting to take you directly to the castle to protect Princess Roshavik from Cersei and her forces.
Princess Roshkovic.
I know you all aren't exactly enthusiastic about this mission.
How can Phosphorus wear clothes?
G.I. Robot is detecting unease. Could he be, G.I. Robot asks, in fear of being discovered as Nazi scum?
No. He's not a Nazi.
Child killer, though. Not a great look.
Supposedly he had a bad experience the last trip he took on this Osprey, that's all.
Oh my god, it's the same craft?
To forget about it all.
Musical travel interlude. Cool shot.
Now
Looks like the princess has imported security.
Those are the sons of Thymoscara.
Oh my god, is he pissing? He's pissing! You son of a...
I hate Weasel. It's just so disgusting. I don't know anybody's powers. Or like how much punishment they can take.
Okay, what's next?
I wrote down the names of everybody. I'm pretty sure the bride is the Indira Varma who was in Game of Thrones is where I knew her from. Oh dear God.
Looks like the gene pool was above ground and inflatable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I wonder what this princess is gonna look like.
Uh-oh. Love at first sight for General Flag. I'm liking the bride.
Richard Bill Flag, Sr.
Richard Bill Flag?
Princess Rostovik, it's an honor.
This is not the kind of bow we do in Pokolistan, mister.
I'm sorry, Mario.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to kill you.
What?
We must only do sacred customary bow in this castle.
Oh, this is bullshit. I think.
Hold on a minute. No one briefed me on what kind of bow.
Yeah, okay.
Alexei. They're
Assholes.
How do you say it? Messing on you?
No, I say it. I pronounce it asshole.
For a minute, I think you're going to make mess in your pants, huh?
What if he had pulled his gun and shot you between the eyes, dude?
We are so much like Americans, yes? Loose.
Yeah.
We pull pranks like Jamie Kennedy experiment.
Jamie Kennedy experiment.
We like to say, "Wazza."
Well, you're certainly current with your popular cultural reference.
Good thing I'm old enough to get each and every one of those.
Now, I have question for you, skeleton. Where's the beef?
Skeleton.
You've sampled this prison grub?
Just seeing it is enough to give me the Collywobbles. You're right.
I don't know what the Collywobbles are. Like the heebie-jeebies, something like that?
You see why I'm taking care of Pokolistan's affairs, even though it won't quite be official until, you know.
I don't trust the princess.
Welcome, Mother. I love you too.
Yeah, neither does the bride.
Some diesel fuel, please, for our robot friend?
Yes, madam. Right away, madam.
Oh, Nina taking care of G.I. Robot. I love it. Oh, God, Weasel's so gross.
It is a beautiful evening, isn't it?
I do not enjoy landscapes devoid of dead Nazis. It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell where they belong.
I love G.I. Robot.
With you.
Why does he have a 2?
Would you like to kill Nazis with G.I. Robot?
If I killed Nazis with anyone, it would certainly be you, G.I. Robot.
Oh, my.
I am already invested in this relationship between Nina and G.I. Robot. That's how quickly it happened.
Our only goal here is to keep you safe, Ilana.
I'm happy to have the company.
Even that one?
Weasel, don't eat that, the accordion player.
Why was he in prison?
Supposedly murdered 27 children.
Oh.
Yeah, Jesus.
Violent tendencies since then, so I would.
Guy's eyes.
But yes, I am happy for the company, especially the company of Americans.
She is hitting on you, Rick.
Are you married, Richard Flag?
No.
Richard Bill Flag.
She and I had a son when we were just 18. Fine young man. 18 years later, he joined the military because he loved our country and he wanted to make it a better place. Yeah. Boy, was an improvement on me in every way.
Oh.
Was?
He passed on about 2 years back.
2 years. 2 years since Suicide Squad.
I'm sure your son was a fine man, but I'm much more fond of older men.
She's playing you, man. Be careful. Or she's interested. I shouldn't say that she's playing you.
This armor is beautiful, no?
Sure.
It is over.
Inside is the ancient evil artifact that gives me my powers.
Just this wonderful armor.
Ah.
Have no clue how to treat a woman. And who can't see me as the human being I am behind the veil of royalty.
Closer, but still no.
Still no.
I'll leave G.I. Robot to guard the door.
Richard.
General, you got some willpower. I'll give you that.
I fought at the Battle of Hurtgen Forest. A whopping 92 dead Nazis.
I love G.I. Robot.
At the Battle of Aachen, I ended the lives of...
I ended the lives. He has just different ways of saying he killed Nazis. I love it. Don't know how Phosphorus wears clothes. Oh, is that how Nina sleeps?
Right?
Bride is taking it on down the road.
Bride, how'd you get down here?
I walked down the stairs.
No one tried to stop you?
We're here to protect them.
Right. You guys were eating and everything. I mean, licking accordion players.
Do not have you in the schedule.
He doesn't have us in the schedule.
I don't need a schedule, Sir Douchelot. I'm not your prisoner.
Like that shot.
Our money is not called rubles.
Yeah, I know. It was meant to be insulting. Just give me some cash.
Oh, he is.
Thank you. She means to say thank you.
No, I don't mean anything of the sort.
Was he scared or does she have like powers?
Money, and he just gave it to you.
Yeah.
We shouldn't leave.
Oh, look, no one is forcing you to come.
It's just there's a cab.
Never mind what's on her head. Just go to the address I told you.
Nice. She did say she's been here before. Oh, we're in the red light district. With a red light. With red lights. Let's make it official. Now, does the general have another visitor from royalty here? Oh, it's Phosphorus. Get a crotch shot first and then.
Hey.
Rick, you are not equipped for this. Yeah, you are not equipped for this, bud. To my knowledge, both of the flags are just regular people. They don't have, like, super strength or... I mean, they're exceptional individuals. They're just not powered. But I could be wrong. I don't know a lot about Rick Flag Sr. Yep, see ya. As you burn down the castle of the princess you're supposed to protect. Did he just reset his head? I'm trying to get a gauge on how tough these guys are. Yeah, pretty tough. Oh, he can throw it too. Oh, suplex. He just keeps bouncing back up.
No, please no!
Richard?
Phosphorus, you idiot! You think Waller would give me the only remote?
Right.
I'm not here to torture you. We're supposed to be on the same damn team.
There we go. Yeah, she certainly has her own kill switch. She's not giving that to Flag.
What is this place?
Where I was born.
I mean, she said Frankenstein whenever she was talking in whatever the dialect here is. I was going to say they're sticking on the shot. There's something in that cabin. Is that Zac Efron?
Yes.
Does it?
Frankenstein.
My bride.
After all these years, I found you.
Oh boy. Nice, that's so short. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 1, The Collywobbles, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 1, The Collywobbles. Good one. It's nothing outstanding, so far in this one. It was just basically, let's get to know everybody. And when you've got a bigger cast like this, especially a bigger team, you've got to spend a little bit of time on everybody, which means nothing really gets super advanced. I guess the one that we could say that we learned the most about was Rick, by far. We found out that he's 18 years older than his son, Joel Kinnaman, I believe, is who played him in, I always think about him from, what is it? For All Mankind. Yeah, I wanted to double check. That is Joel Kinnaman, just to make sure that I was, saying it correctly. I had giving the appropriate credit to the actor who played Rick Flag in Suicide Squad. Both of them, actually. The Ayer version and, or Ayer version, David Ayer, and obviously the James Gunn version. But, that's interesting. We found that he's 18 years older. He'd been married, which kind of explains how Frank Grillo and Joel Kinnaman could play father and son respectively, but it's an interesting way to go about it. I don't know much. I know about Rick Flag, the character of Rick Flag. I didn't even know there was a Rick Flag Sr., to be completely honest. Of all of the characters that we saw here, obviously I've seen Weasel before in Suicide Squad. Doc Phosphorus's name is familiar, but his appearance and everything, I don't know if maybe there was an earlier iteration of the character called Doc Phosphorus that was more human looking. That DC tends to do that. They have older characters that are just people in people in spandex, and then they become other things whenever they get farther along in the timeline of DC. But it's again, kind of went around the horn. We got a couple things that popped out with the Sons of Themyscira, led by Cersei. That's an interesting little thing. I'm wondering if that is a storyline for this, which I'm pretty sure they wouldn't kind of lead off the episode with this if they don't ultimately get back to her. But that's something too. I'm trying to look at everything. I'm trying to find the threads and how much Gunn and Safran, I guess, are going to reveal about the DC cinematic universe at large through a project like Creature Commandos. We were promised that they would. And again, I don't expect anything big and revelatory, but again, I want to make notes of each and every kind of character we meet. If we get any type of story beat or plot point that maybe is just in passing, you hear something on the radio, or, there's a newspaper clipping that's kind of displayed for a second. These are things that, they can use to kind of seed their future storylines. I do know that just by interviews and things that I have seen so far, that Frank Grillo, Rick Flag Sr., does appear in live action in the new Superman movie. Now, I don't know if any of the other Creature Commandos will appear. However, I do know that each of the Creature Commandos were hired, basically, and the contracts that they signed said that this is for your voice acting work and this is for potential live action. So I think that is so super cool. I do know that's across the board for everybody too. So even, and I forget the actor who's playing Superman, but if Superman appears in an animated show, he'll be voiced by the same actor that plays Superman in live action, which I think is really, really interesting because it gives a continuity that I think definitely doesn't appear as prevalent in the Marvel. That's the only comparison to make is with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I think too that DC, if played correctly, could really benefit from two things. DC has a treasure trove of characters. The problem with DC's, this is number one, DC's treasure trove of characters is really top heavy. And by that, I mean, once you get out of the big three of Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, you've got another kind of level that's really good with Green Lantern and Flash, but when you broaden out a little bit, before you know it, you're in the world of Blue Beetles and Buster Golds. I'm a huge fan of both of them, because they had Justice League Europe. I loved all that shit. But you know, again, it's just they're not as widely known as some of the kind of the deeper characters in Marvel. And that's because the, you know, Marvel's had the opportunity to really kind of explore some of those things, whether it be in like the Sony Spider-Man projects or, you know, the early Fox X-Men, things like that. They've had a lot of people take shots at, you know, stabs at how to do this. But with DC, it always seems to be a broken record of cycle and repeat, where you have like a Batman origin story. Oh, here comes the Joker, the Riddler, and fill in, you know, Two-Face, Penguin, whoever happens to be. And then we're gone for 10 years, and then here we go again, and it's Batman origin story, and then all of those same rogues gallery again. Now, you know, with like the CW and a couple of those shows like with Flash and Arrow and things like that that have popped up, they've definitely been able to kind of sprinkle in some of those lesser known characters and really given them a chance to shine, or at least get, you know, get a name for themselves, build a resume, you know, get ready. But I still, it's something that is just not as widespread as the names in Marvel. So the first point I make about the DC universe is they've got characters that are untapped, but it's also a detriment because they've got characters that are unknown and untapped. Once they get into them, I think people will love the characters. The problem, because most of the characters in DC are very unique. Some of them have very generic names, but other than that, you know, their stories are very compelling. I'm interested to see what they can do with that. Now, the second point, and the other thing that could benefit the DC universe, I believe, is they've got a roadmap on how to do things and how not to do things by Marvel and themselves. You know, all of the shots that have been taken, like we just mentioned, you know, that kind of repetitive cycle of, hey, here's Superman's origin story. Hey, there's Lex Luthor. And then we do it all over again in 10 years. You know, they just haven't been able to, you know, like Harley Quinn's the only person they really kind of brought forward into, you know, as a new character that was, I would say, pretty prevalently, you know, accepted, as everybody like loved Margot Robbie's like portrayal of her, and I thought she was great. But again, I mean, that's really like the only character that's popped up that's, you know, Peacemaker, I guess, if you want to throw that in there. But I still think that's an acquired taste. I don't think there are people out there that are like, you know, were clamoring for a Peacemaker series, which was fantastic. I intend to rewatch that one now that we know that canonically that one, with the except for those of you who haven't seen it, there's one cameo in the Peacemaker season 1. We have season 2 coming up. In that is not canonical, but everything else apparently is. It's in universe and it's correct. We had a mention of that too when Waller was kind of chastised by Flag, you know, after your daughter outed you, you know, you can't use humans anymore, that type of stuff. So that occurred in Peacemaker 1, season 1. So that's very interesting. But, you know, again, with the roadmap that they have in place, if they need to really double down and commit, and it looks like they're going to with this new kind of arrangement that they have with Peter Safran and James Gunn, you know, to be able to tell a story at length, you know, to be able to really get in and really tell a story, you need time. I mean, you need 10 years, really, like Marvel was given to really kind of put it together. And Marvel was very slow out of the gate in those first 10 years, you know, a movie a year for the first like 2 or 3, you know, it wasn't until they really got cooking that they started pumping them out. And that's part of the problem. If you don't have, again, this is a benefit that the DC cinematic universe is going to have. They already know where they want to go, what characters they're going to need, how they need to establish these characters, you know, really age of the actors, bringing in young people to play, you know, Superman, characters that are supposed to be around for a long time, you know, making sure that they have legs, you know, they don't have to completely recast, which that always happens, but you know, you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunity to succeed. And I think that the DC universe so far has done a great job with that. You know, tricky castings though, you know, castings are always going to be looked at. You know, some people will say, oh, this looks great. And then other people will say, oh, that's not how I ever pictured Batman, you know? So we'll see how the, you know, and again, I always err on the side of, I'm not going to make any judgment till I see the performance. I don't care what an actor looks like, you know, how they perform, their strength, their talent, that's going to sell me on it each and every. But, you know, with this one, again, with the roadmap of the Marvel universe, Marvel tried to get as many characters in there as they could. They really floundered with the multiverse because they got lazy. And they were like, oh, if we want to have a Mr. Fantastic, no problem. We don't even have to give any backstory. We'll just bring in John Krasinski as a variant. Can't do stuff like that. It was ill received, you know. As soon as it gets in, people don't have any type of emotional investment. They know the characters from the comic books, so you're alienating comic book fans because you're not really kind of treating the character with the same level of respect that they saw from these earlier characters. I think James Gunn realizes that, and he realizes that each of these characters need to be fleshed out. They need to be brought in whatever vehicle they decide to bring them, whether they be in like an animated kind of offering like Creature Commandos, a TV show like Waller, and I think we have Lanterns, which I'm super psyched to see. That Lantern show has been compared to True Detective. With Green Lanterns, I am 100% down for that. But long story longer, what I thought that we would do, friends, for both Creature Commandos and then going forward with the DC Cinematic Universe at large is we will talk about it, but we will analyze it. We are going to look for each and every one of the little beats and pops that may lead to something else, maybe red herrings, but that's the fun of it, you know? If James Gunn and Peter Safran say that they are going to have this type of like all-encompassing thread that goes through all the projects, characters popping up here and popping up there, all for, you know, the betterment of the entirety of the grand story, I want to make sure that I'm, you know, sucking the marrow out of that bone. I want to take it for everything it's got, because if we can be here at the beginning, friends, then we can see it through to the end. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live with Creature Commandos. And of course, or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. So what we like to do around here is we pick a part of the episode and we say goodbye from that spot. So friends, we're part of the Creature Commandos. We're part of Task Force M. I know you didn't see us on camera. We were right behind camera, but we're there. We're in the field right now, taking care of everything. So as we're sitting there, I think where we'll say goodbye from is in the hallway outside of the princess's chambers, as we are sitting there with Weasel and G.I. Robot, as G.I. Robot performs some rather gory but interesting ASMR and recounts to us the body count that G.I. Robot accumulated during the Great War, or World War II. I can't wait to see where we go from here, friends, and until we get a chance to explore these characters and this brand new universe a little bit more, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you